And between now and Election Day, we're zeroing in on the swing states. This week, our spotlight on Pennsylvania. Young voters in the Keystone State account for 7% of the electorate. That's roughly 1 in every 14 votes. And it is the biggest swing state with 19 electoral votes. The race even tighter than what we had reported just 24 hours ago. According to our partners at Decision Desk headquarters, Harris has a 0.6% lead over Trump in that state. She is at 48.9%. He's at 48.3%. Here now, Kamryn Davis, Philadelphia Regional Director for Pennsylvania Youth Vote. Thank you so much for being with us as we shine our spotlight on Pennsylvania. Tell me about young voters right now. What is driving their engagement?
Right now, a lot of young voters in Pennsylvania are being driven to the polls by what they see on social media, how they're being engaged in their classrooms. That's one of the things we do here at PA Youth Vote, and just a bunch of community organizations on the ground trying to make sure that they're educated and empowered to vote in this upcoming election.
You're nonpartisan. What do people say of this younger age group, kind of 18 to 24, is the most important issue to them? And when you talk to them, do they seem informed on the issue?
What I would say, there are like 3 top issues for young voters in Pennsylvania. It would be around education, racial justice, and reproductive rights. And most young people are very informed on these issues that they care about, but they're not necessarily informed about how different candidates can impact those issues. Sometimes they think that it's just solely the president that'll fix all of these issues on their ballot.
But it's more than that. You and I know that. And it also comes down to local races, which if people are going to vote for president, it's important they know about the local races that they have a choice and they have a stake in. What are you doing to make sure that they are aware and prepared when they make those decisions?
PA Youth Vote right now is partnering with a ton of organizations like Committee of 70, Black Voters Matter, our local kind of commissioners and the mayor. We're just trying to make sure that we're hosting events, we're giving in-school presentations, we're tabling at community events, all things to make sure that young people really understand that there's a state rep on your ballot. There are the Attorney General in Pennsylvania, but there are even senators and people within the House of Representatives. So make sure that they are educated and they make a really big informed decision based off of who connects to what issues that they care about this election.
I mentioned a moment ago, Kamryn, 1 in about every 14 voters is a young voter in this election. What's it like to be in Pennsylvania, a swing state, as a young voter right now? And do they recognize the role they can play?
A lot of young people do recognize that they play a pivotal role, but right now it's about empowering them to not just, not take advantage of this position. I don't think they realize the gravity. They understand that people are looking to their votes. They're coming to their classrooms. They're coming to their events. They're phone banking and texting them. But it is important that we help young people understand, like you said, 1 out of 14 voters in Pennsylvania are young people, and they have a crucial role in determining not just the president, but a lot of different offices on this upcoming ballot.
And it's one thing to say, I support this candidate or that candidate. It's quite another to physically get them to the polls on Election Day. What's happening on that front?
To get young people to the polls on Election Day, actually in Pennsylvania, for us in Philadelphia mainly, we're hosting some events. We're doing a Vote Early Day March on October 29th to try to get young people to go and vote early if they can. We're working with the School District of Philadelphia to do that. We're hosting field day events. We're just trying to make sure that young people see voting, again, as a civil duty, and that they make sure that they're being educated when they make this important decision on November 5th or even earlier if they choose to do so.
Yeah, civil duty, a privilege to do so, especially for those first-time voters. Kamryn Davis, thanks for the work you're doing, outreach, education, and awareness. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.